Where do cannibals go to get their meals? Well, they go to Five Guys. What's going on, YouTube? It's Tuesday, which means we have our weekly vendor refresh. 3 vendors. First one's inside of Apocrypha, which is over here. If you've never been here before, you could just fast travel into this bad mamma jamma. Head on over to this side. Make sure you pick up your complimentary coins off the table. And then wham bam, thank you, ma'am. The first thing we have is the Oriole metal carvings. Now, this is part of the Snow Treader's boots, which notoriously aren't super difficult to get, at least not this portion of it. You just need to kill random monsters inside of Bleak Rock Isle. Snow Treader's boots, not super popular. I really wish that it was a little bit more popular because I think it's very cool and flavorful. For those of you who are like, Jake, what's the quick 411 on what it does? Basically, while you're in combat, you are immune to snares and immobilization effects that can be cleansed, but you can't sprint. So it's a decent trade-off in my opinion. Next up, from the Esoteric Environmental Greaves, we have ourselves a relatively straightforward lead that just comes from a public dungeon. Easy skip. Also, the Esoteric Environment Greaves are relatively easy and not super useful. So not a mythic you need to have, and it's not super hard to get. So not one you want to use your Archival Fortunes for anyhow. Next up, we have the Engine Guardian Mask. Now this bad boy, very dwarven in theme, and it would be 15,000 Archival Fortunes, but you would be able to save yourself some gold, and that gold amount is not very high. But oddly enough, there's not that many listings in total. So I was a bit surprised by how many listings there were when I looked at this initially. But yeah, I mean, people have just owned this thing for so long, even at its peak. You know, maybe you could argue it's worth a few million, but I mean, these days, as you can see, it's just, well, you can't see because my face is blocking it. You can just see now it's just plummeting since February in value, which is odd because you haven't been able to farm it recently, but it's just one that's been out for a long time. If you wanted to purchase it, though, I mean, it's up to you. I never blame people if they want to buy these bad boys. Next up, we have some furnishings. Now, a lot of people have made some different comments about these furnishing pieces. They're like, Jake, some of these have a lot of value. And that's true. The problem is, as soon as they're here, their value plummets immediately, and it's not resellable. So I would be very cautious on buying these with the explicit intent of like trying to purchase them to sell as actual furnishing pieces, but it is an option because, again, the recipe is going to be bound. So you can't sell the recipe, but you can sell the pre-made stuff. You're like, bam, I'm going to sell me some wood elf rack meat. Now, the wood elves are notoriously cannibalistic, so this is probably just some Joe Schmo that passed away from heart disease on their front lawn. This is him all strung out. So if you want to do that, perfectly fine. Telvanni treasure maps are one of the best treasure maps that you could purchase. It's got all sorts of antiquity lead drops. And honestly, it's going to be one where a lot of people convert their Archival Fortunes to ever since the satchels were nerfed. If you're like, Jake, the satchels were nerfed, what does that mean? You don't need to worry about it. Basically, people used to say that the best way to convert your Archival Fortunes to gold, if that was your goal, I'm not saying that it was for everybody. Me personally, I like to use it on annoying leads or rare items that I don't have. But if you wanted to turn it into gold, you would buy these provisioning satchels from another vendor that's also here, but he's static, so he's boring or we don't talk about him. But then they got nerfed because he was too broken compared to all the other ones. And now it's either pretty much the alchemy satchels, which are really only good for PC, but you can also turn them into treasure maps. So treasure maps, Telvanni Peninsula, great value, 2,000 Archival Fortunes, and you're potentially getting a treasure map that's pretty good. So that's an easy one to convert into. Light armor, this is not sellable, so this would be if you wanted to try to roll for some healing armor, which doesn't sell as much as you would think it would, so I generally don't recommend gambling on light armor unless you're desperate for a healer companion. Then we have the book and the life of Kamantong, as well as the persistence of Daedric veneration. Now, I will tell you, the Daedra pretty frequently try to invade the plane of existence. So maybe they're onto something here with the persistence of those little Daedra, those little rascals. Then we have our scripts. We have protection, disease damage, and assassin's misery. Bit of an odd place, honestly, because it's like, yes, these are pretty decent. I'm a huge fan, actually, of protection and even disease damage in really niche situations, but you're not going to buy these with Archival Fortunes. Listen, just eat your vegetables, do your daily quests, and you never got to worry about spending Archival Fortunes on these bad boys. Plus, you could buy some with gold anyway, So that's the next vendor we go to. So I would just focus on those scripts. None of these are essential to where I'd be like, oh, even if you're brand new to the game, go get this script. None of them jump out at me like that. Then we have our Infinite Body Art. This is bad boy already comes from the Infinite Archives. So we just kind of skip through this bad boy. Then we have the Fragment of Madness. Now this actually comes from the Vaults of Madness. We've seen this one a couple times as well. It's a little bit hard to see the difference, but you can see the dampening magic morph is a little bit different, a little more yellowy. And then we have a fragment. Don't ever buy these fragments. You can buy them on the ESO open market, usually for very cheap, and they're just not a good value. Now see, next up, we're inside the Scholarium inside of Ivea. Now this place will become free to play in the July update that adds scribing to the base game. But if you're new to scribing, then you just talk to this little bad boy here. He's over here in this part of it. And if you've done the actual scribing quests, you'll be able to talk to him and he will sell you Brittle, Heroism, Knockback, Class Mastery, which is static. That's always there. And Gladiator's Tenacity. That is a fantastic assortment. Brittle and Heroism and Knockback alone are fantastic. If you're on a budget, get Brittle and Heroism. Now, when subclassing comes out, maybe Brittle will lose a little bit of value, or honestly, maybe it'll gain value, but I think the latter, it's going to gain in value. Some people might say, oh, Jake, you could get it easier if you're not a warden. But to me, people might want to max into it. So Brittle, Heroism are fantastic. Heroism is amazing for PvP and even PvE, because it's like, do you know what's really good in the game? Ultimate things. So using your ultimates a lot faster is great. Knockback, more PvP based, but even then, it's not usually on a lot of things. Class Mastery is static, and Gladiator's Tenacity is more expensive and not used nearly as much. So I would definitely buy these ones, but also too, if you buy them all and you get a duplicate in the future, you just sell it back for 1,000 gold. This is how I pretty much quickly completed scribing, is I just bought all of them. And then as I got duplicates from doing my daily quests, like a good little cherub eating my vegetables, I would just sell them back again. So that's generally my suggestion for players. But it is up to you. Gold is a currency. And I know what you're thinking, Jake. Are you going to spend 10 gold to repair your armor? No, I'm not going to. Can't make me. And finally, we are inside the Lambient Passage. This is our Imperial Ciy vendor. And if you're like, Jake, where are these vendors? Check out the ESO Helper website. And you could talk to this little bad mamma jamma. Don't take the shield. Talk to the hooligan. And they'll offer you a wide range of items. We start with the Harbinger set. When you block, you deal 1455 physical damage to the attacker. This effect can scales off your max health. I have a build that uses this set. You might think to yourself, Jake, is it good? It's a build. I mean, it's got 5-piece sets attached to it. It's got another 5-piece set. It's got a monster set. Is it good? No, but it is funny. So that's something. It's probably like a 5.56 out of 10. This set can be used, but not like in a good way, in my opinion. You're going to use it probably for PvP more than anything else in this world, just because it's significantly easier to kill a player with a set like this than it is to kill anything PvE related. I actually was going to make a video of me going through the entirety of Maelstrom Arena wearing this set and others that did similar things. And I think I was like hours into it, and I was like, we just don't have the capacity. Even if I wanted to record the whole run, my computer's gonna run out of space. So it is possible. It's fine, but it's fine. That's how we're describing the set. Next up, we have Morag Tong. These are all PvP sets for those of you who are new to this vendor. When you deal direct damage, you cause the enemy to take 10% more damage from poison and disease attacks for 5 seconds. Now, importantly, it doesn't say from your disease and poison damage attacks. It's actually everybody's. So people sometimes use this in PvP pretty frequently. You kind of lather up the old enemies, make sure they're nice and ready for some poison and disease damage. Poison and disease damage, unfortunately, for PvE just doesn't have really any utilization. And this is a PvP set in the sense that you buy it for alliance points. So makes sense that its best utilization would be PvP. But even then, it's probably like an 8 out of 10. That might be generous. I think I might be remembering the days of people just stack this with Plague Break and just freaking threw those sets everywhere. I'm probably a little bit biased. It might be a little bit worse, maybe in the good range. So for me, good is a 7, great is an 8. It's probably in that range of good to great, but not something you're going to spend 100k Telvar on. So don't worry about that. Next up, we got another esoteric environment Greaves. You're probably thinking to yourself, Jake, they've said it how many times? Are you going to pronounce it correctly? Maybe. This one actually comes from the Forgotten Waste Public Dungeon. Very easy, very popular. We've already talked about this mythic. We could skip it, save some time on the video. Next one is a special one because it's going to be one that I'm purchasing because I hate this lead. It's the Twitching Eyeball lead. Now, this one only drops from a Watcher boss inside the Imperial Ciy prison dungeon, the Gravelight Sentry. Now, you might think to yourself, Jake, it's just a boss. One, it's not the final boss. And I don't know if that makes it not drop as much, but it's so disheartening to kill a boss that's not the final boss, realize you didn't get the lead, and still feel obligated to complete the dungeon. It's so annoying. And the Mora's Whisper is actually a mythic that like endgame players should probably own because it's a pretty good mythic. It gives you crit chance, increased inspiration, alliance rank, alliance skill, 15% monster kill experience based on how many Shalador's books you've collected. So if you're trying to power level, if you're trying to get extra inspiration, alliance rank, alliance skill, this is a fantastic mythic to have. And even if you're just wearing it and you have to PvP with it or PvE with it, like you're getting 1528 crit chance. So it's great mythic. But I could never get this stupid lead, and I would farm the Imperial Ciy prison and I would not get it. I think it's like the halfway through, maybe like 2/3 of the way through this boss, not get the lead and just go, oh, all right. And then freaking David gets it. And I'm like, damn it, David. Western Skyrim treasure maps, you're going to see not really going for a lot of money. People are literally throwing out some of these bad boys for a couple hundred gold. Not worth your Televar to convert to gold. Then we have the rings of what we talked about earlier. And then we get to Courage, Dispel, Crusader's Defiance. Thankfully, none of these are essential, especially for how much Televar these are going to cost you if you don't have them already unlocked on another character. Easy skips. Don't got to worry about any of these bad boys. And we round off on the Fragment of the Thorn. And now the Fragment of the Thorn is interesting because it makes your silver bolts turn yellow. Now you might think, Jake, why is that interesting? Well, they're called silver bolts, not yellow bolts. So why are they yellow? And if you wanted to get that bad boy, you would need to complete Castle Thorn. That's where this one specifically comes from. That's the DLC Castle Thorn final boss. However, 100% guaranteed drop rate. But Castle Thorn is also very annoying. And if you got that one out of the way by purchasing it for whatever reason, you'd only then need to do Spindle Clutch, a world boss, a group event, and a delve boss. So that is definitely the harder one. You do need to be paying attention when you are doing, Castle Thorn. But again, 100% drop rate, and you don't have to do it on a veteran. So probably something you're not going to spend 25k Televar on, but it is people's currency. Sometimes people would rather spend currency than not have to go to a dungeon where they have to communicate with others. So thank you guys so much again for watching. We have some fantastic items. I think if you're definitely interested in kind of end game leveling and you have a character that's got all the Shalador's books, I definitely recommend the Imperial Ciy lead. We also had some great scripts that can be purchased with gold. Brittle and Heroism are absolutely fantastic, and I would highly encourage you to get them. And if you want to convert those satchels into some money, or Cobble Fortunes just generally into money, it's going to be worth it to buy those treasure maps. And the nice thing is a lot of people don't like to convert too many Archival Fortunes at once, so the market's not going to become flooded with Telvanni Peninsula maps. And even if it did, a lot of the stuff that's good that drops from there are furnishing items. And guess what? We had a furnishing contest on the way, so I guarantee even if the supply starts to get pretty high, the demand will probably match it at least to a pretty good click. So thank you guys so much again for watching. I hope this video was helpful. We are still working on our class update guide with all the skill lines. I'm curious if you guys don't mind answering quickly. Do you want me to break that video down into 3 parts? Maybe like a PvP video, PvE, and then support, or maybe just like DPS and then support? Because there's so many skill lines to go through. I don't mind doing it all in one video, whatever your preference is. I just don't want you to feel like I'm breaking stuff into too many videos, or I'm making a video that's too long where you're like, Jake, I'm not sitting down and watching a 40-minute video about skill lines. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below, because as always, we're doing 3 giveaway drawings. All you have to do to enter is leave a comment in the comments below / like on the video, and as many likes and as many comments as you want to leave. Second thing is just make sure you're subscribed. We are, where are we? Hang on. Hold up. We are 31 subscribers away from 31k, so please hit the subscribe button. And as always, look for a hidden word to be flashed upon the screen. We had 1 hidden word per month, but next month there'll be a hidden word on every single video. So thank you for that. Stay tuned for that, and excited to give away when our giveaway codes have been restocked. So thank you guys again. Have a fantastic Tuesday. I have to go back to work, so I'll catch you guys later. Bye, guys.
You better remember to like and subscribe to Jakeclips. Or you should. I might have to pluck your eyes if you don't. Or, better yet, I'll skip rope with your entrails. Do it now. Subscribe. Ta-ta. Off with you.